Hello, welcome to July 3rd, 2023. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation video. This exercise is something that I do each and every morning, a little bit after waking up. It's now 4:38 a.m. I do this in order to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone. I also use this time to remember the last 24 hours and to think about the challenges and opportunities that I met and how I handled those, the expected and perhaps more importantly, the unexpected. I guess they're equally important, right? Yeah. How you handle it, because they're both out there. I then finished by thinking about the coming day and the coming night and maybe forecasting what challenges might be there and how I can handle them using my objectives and principles, and also to prepare myself for the unexpected. But first, a poem. Continuing with Keats, we're going to read a poem titled Lines Rhymed in a Letter Received by J.H. Reynolds, in parentheses, from Oxford. So he was inspired to write this short poem after getting a letter from a gentleman, J.H. Reynolds, a contemporary of his, whom he had met and who had written him a letter. I had to do some research. J.H. Reynolds was a man who had given up poetry to take up the law. So he had a poetic bent. They became fast friends, and eventually introduced Keats to his publisher, the man who'd be Keats' publisher. I'm going to read this poem today and tomorrow because this one required a little study. I had to dig deep. There's also two words in here that were new vocabulary words for me that I had to look up that I'll share with you now. One was dominat. It sounds like Latin, I think. That's why I should look it up as Latin. I could not find the definition. All that came up in the results was dominant. Just, add an E to the end. Dominat, and it's in parentheses, and it's held off a little bit. See how it's just a little bit offset there in parentheses? I bet that's Latin. I need to look that up. And the second word was benison, which means like a blessing of sorts. So here we go. Let's read it, and then we'll read it again tomorrow after I study it a little more. Lines rhymed in a letter received by J.H. Reynolds from Oxford. And I actually found the letter. That's another thing. I actually located on Google search the actual letter that Keats is referencing here. I haven't completed it yet. It's rather long. And there are indeed some lines in there written by Reynolds. Jonathan Reynolds, by the way. The Gothic looks solemn. The plain Doric column supports an old bishop and crossier. There's another word I don't know. Crossier. I have to look that up. The mouldering arch, shaded over by a larch, stands next to Wilson the hosier. So who the heck is that? I have all these things that I don't know. And what's a hosier? I don't know what that is. And who is William the hosier? And it's capitalized letters, so it sounds like a proper title. Vice, that is, by turns, or it's got an accent. Is it vice? I don't know. Over pale faces mourns the black tasseled trencher and common hat. The chanty boy sings, the steeple bell rings, and as for the chancellor, dominat. Reads a little bit like Poe, huh? As they say, and quoth the raven, nevermore. There are plenty of trees and plenty of ease, and plenty of fat deer for parsons, and when it is venison, short is the benison. Then each on a leg or thigh fastens. Each of the parsons, each of them. I'm getting a little bit of it. Something about maybe a monastery of some sort. The Gothic columns, the Doric, the Gothic looks solemn. Maybe Gothic temple, Gothic church. The Doric columns supporting an old bishop and crossier. So the mouldering arch, shaded over by a big tree, stands next to Wilson the hosier. God, I love What is a chantry boy? Chantry boy. That's another word I need to look up. Sounds like some office, some minor office in the church, possibly the Church of England. Okay, let's do the good life. First, last night and yesterday. Slept pretty good. I was up. Rudy had a hard time getting to sleep. I think there were noises last night. There were fireworks. There were a lot of fireworks last night, even though it's not even the 4th yet. People consistently, at least since 2 or 3 days back, they've been, launching fireworks every night. I mean, launching, wow. And this is what it upsets the dogs. We've been giving them tranquilizers, but still, they're a little upset. Otherwise, I slept pretty good. Yesterday was a fine day. Miko and I had such fun. We went out. We went to a Cambodian restaurant in Signal Hill. Got to know Signal Hill a little bit. Went to a bookstore after that, and then an antique market. Funny how we don't have, it was interesting browsing, but no interest in buying anything. We're like, our lives, if not in fact, are in our mind elsewhere. They're back in Japan. So we have nothing of interest to decorate or anything. And besides, the decoration we're going to do is going to be a Taisho era style, which will require Japanese goods to do properly. Just, came home. I went to the beach, went for a beautiful long swim. So we had 2 nice long walks with the dogs during the day. Had a great dinner with Yumiko in the evening. We watched a good show together on YouTube. A Japanese band that does talks about real estate in Japan. Then I went to bed. The swim was good. Nice day with my wife yesterday. We have so much fun. Challenges, opportunities. There were some minor ones, some unexpected things. Oh, we had a nice time at the little mall that we found in Seal Beach. That was fun too. We're really getting the sense of everything here. Getting our fill of everything. I can't think of anything else from yesterday. Let's do the good life. My 7 objectives, as outlined in my book, Going Alone, are to be always ready to die, to have my affairs, my relationships, and my purpose in order. And they are. 2, to make good and effective use of my time. 3, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles. 4, to cultivate good emotional reactions. 5, to perform good actions. 6, to recognize my true limits and true opportunity. And 7, to do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully. I will add one thing. Yesterday at the beach, it was very crowded. I really felt old. Watching the younger people frolic in the waves, swimming out. I swam further out than anybody else, actually. But yet, I really felt old. I felt myself the old man on the beach. It's a fact. It's like recognizing there isn't God. It's just evidently not the case. Just like it's evidently is the case that I'm old. I worry. I don't really worry. I worry because I think I'm supposed to worry. That recognizing this fact will hasten the onset. So be it. My life is done, if not finished, as I'd like to say. Still yet to do, and still a lot of things. I still have a lot of poetry to read. Still have a lot of sunsets to witness. A lot of shaded light to observe and to things to think about. But my life really is. I really am ready to die, so that's okay if it comes on. So I say, right? But I felt it yesterday. Also mostly watching the upstart young adults ramping up in their late teens and early 20s. The adults with their kids doing all their things. the necessary sundries. "34 principles. War, reason, homunculus, anchor hold, home of good and evil, purpose, atomic principle, principle of nature, the pirate ride, maturity, social principle, public speaking, temperance, life will not go well, the horror show, the feast of woeful, that which must be born, distraction, agency in the great indifference, the best seat in the house, the restless man, the path of wildness, the great life adventure, the risk of avoiding risk, sin and damnation, complete oblivion, the season of philosophy, script writing, the bullseye aim." I said the season of philosophy, right? If I didn't, I just did now. The uphill climb, arena and utility, nothing is enough, and the principle of fun. I think I got them all. You can read about all of these in my book, Going Alone, if you want. Available on Amazon and on goingalone.org if you want a signed copy. Okay, now the day to come. It's a work day. It's a Monday. I got a lot to do today, and I can do it all. I will do it all. Just lay it all down. Get it all through. Make it all happen. I do feel the pain in my joints. I'll take my pain medicine. I do feel the fatigue. I'll take my caffeine pill. And I'll press through. And my medicine that keeps me alive. I've got this one medicine that helps to reduce the chance of stroke and heart attack and a whole series of ailments. Can't eat grapefruit as a result. I'll take that too. Another sign of the old man, right? This old medicine that I take. And my wife reminds me she takes a lot too. I like it though. I like getting old. It's terrific. I mean, it really is. I wouldn't go back to any generation, any decade of the past. Not if I had to go back to that mindset. I don't even know if I'd want to go back with this mindset. I don't want to go back. No adventure, no period, nothing. There's nothing that I'd go back to. This is the best. This is where I belong and where I want to be. Even with the pains and the aches. Where I belong, like there's any choice, right? Okay, I'll stop now. Be safe, but not too safe. And with that, my life is done, if not finished. See ya.